It's about performing and about recovery. We train, we come home and make sure we're ready for the next day. I've been using infrared lights for a while. It's actually definitely helping me to recover, smooth the muscles and help with blood flow and recover quicker. That technology is here to stay and gives us a lot of chances that people before us didn't have.
Just as Norwegian professional soccer player and Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard says, there are a lot of positive impacts of technology in sports. Good afternoon, my name is Louis Atola.
My name is Jonathan McKenna.
My name is Felipe Yoshida.
And my name is Grace Smith. And that leads us to the question, to what extent has technology positively impacted professional sports in the 21st century? Through our research, we have identified 3 areas in which it was positive: tracking statistics, injury prevention, and athletic performance.
Player statistics in sports have risen in demand as technology has evolved. This has led to the creation of tracking systems, which use a variety of methods to track and collect data on players and balls. There are 2 tracking systems used in the field of professional sports. There's the GPS, also known as the Global Positioning System, and the Video Tracking System. GPS uses small trackers that are placed on athletes. These trackers send signals to a network of satellites that are able to pinpoint its exact location. By sending signals at a fast rate, trackers are able to collect data such as total distance covered, speed and location at any given time, as well as acceleration rates. GPS is the cheapest tracking option, which provides an easy way for athletes and teams to review their performances. Additionally, GPS systems vary in its accuracy, meaning it isn't sufficient to be used in refereeing. Video tracking systems use a set of cameras to track individual players and balls. The amount of cameras used in the system can vary from just 1 to over several dozen. However, this system does require a stadium to function properly. This means that it is not easily accessible to teams or athletes who want to use video tracking for the benefit. However, the near perfect accuracy of the video tracking system does allow it to be used for officiating sports. The table shown represents the results of a study conducted which tests the effectiveness of video tracking systems. The study was conducted by Daniel Link, a sport analyst at the Technical University of Munich. There are metrics shown on the left column, and through his studies, he found that the relative errors the system made were small and insignificant. This proves that the video tracking system can be used for officiating sports. In fact, systems like the one used in this test are already being utilized by professional sports, such as volleyball, tennis, and soccer.
Video assistant technology, also known as VAR, is an example of a beneficial technological equipment which is shown to provide improved and thorough review of important in-game decisions in soccer. With this cutting-edge technology, referees are able to analyze a specific play down to the smallest details. This is critical as the offside rule in soccer can lead to many doubts. VAR helps the referees be sure and certain of their decisions in order to be fair and unbiased. Professor George Marther of Lincoln University supports this by mentioning that the VAR reviewer receives snapshots of the play at 20 millisecond intervals. This can be shown in this image where it illustrates the exact moment where the ball comes in contact with the player. On the other side, this image published by TDK Sports Tech explains how VAR is applied in an offside situation. Moving on, another key point is that educational technological tools have increased the knowledge acquisition of individuals on injury prevention and how to treat them. This can be seen on these graphs, taken from an experiment conducted by Professor Sheng Li of Shandong Sport University, where different groups of students are shown to learn better about physical health under the machine learning model rather than the traditional one. He mentions that the machine learning model can effectively reduce the probability of injuries in student sports by 7.7%. compared with the traditional one.
Performance enhancing products were technological advancements that help to increase the athletic potential of athletes. Insoles in this case. The comparison between the carbon fiber insole, which is labeled as CFI, and the common insole, COM. This experiment conducted by the Professor Ko of the Texas A&M University, published by the National Institutes of Health, showed that the carbon fiber insole has a slight advantage over the common one, which may not seem like a lot, but in sports, every detail matters. If an athlete is a millisecond faster or can jump a millimeter higher than his opponent, he will be able to take that edge and come out on top. Sports psychology, a big industry, which is a way the technology has helped sports and not that many people bring attention to. 3 ways that it can do so is through virtual and augmented reality applications. In applications to immerse athletes in virtual environments, honing mental skills crucial for performance, including visualization and focus. Wearable devices for performance monitoring. These products track psychological data like heart rate, aiding in real-time performance assessments. And lastly, video analysis software for performance deconstruction. Video analysis software deconstructs athletes' performance, offering detailed insights on nonverbal cues like body language and facial expressions influencing performance dynamics. As Dr. Beth Grady of the Loughborough University in London, United Kingdom emphasizes, sports psychology focuses on the comprehension and improvement of the mindset of athletes, concerning their confidence, attention, and emotional control. While IT is the technology that allows psychologists to obtain the information needed to access their findings.
According to the Olympic YouTube video, the wearable tech that helps athletes recharge their energy, Olympic athletes are highly exposed to injuries due to their long and intense training. That's why thermal reactive clothing has been rapidly adopted by numbers of Olympic sports. Olympic athletes are embracing a technological advancement intended to lessen the hazards connected with extensive and rigorous training by using thermal reactive equipment such as the ones depicted here. This innovation provides several benefits, such as improving recovery times, relieving pain, relieving occurring swelling, increasing respiratory efficiency, and increased thermal energy production. Thermal t-shirts and leggings, amongst many other technological advanced articles of clothing, have the ability to adjust variations in body temperature, indicating that the design is centered on protecting athletes from physical stressors and other potential injury causes. Rowing athlete Ellie Lewis goes on to say that the most important underestimated thing that she knows is recovery. We train very hard every day with miles and miles, and the most important thing is to rest, recover, and do it all again the next morning. This is an example of a wearable device called the Armbeat. In his article, Istok Kranberger, a professor of computer science in his University of Maribor, portrays the Armbeat. This specific wearable device can both help the prevention of tennis injuries or possibly help the recovery process. Not only that, but it is also based on the result that the arm beep sensor can be considered a valid and reliable tool to measuring the actual numbers of strokes and monitoring hitting loads during tennis practice and matches. In the graph to the right, it shows the percentage of time in the sprinting zones in which the athlete is moving at a speed greater than 16 kilometers per hour. Tennis coaches can accurately determine significant impacts that determine the motion of movements of athletes.
So, through our research, we have concluded that throughout the 21st century, technological improvements have resulted in beneficial outcomes within sports played by professional athletes.
Moreover, our research has shown that the impacts of technology in sports have significantly outweighed the negatives. Therefore, they prove to benefit players and athletes in knowledge acquisition, performance activities, and referees in accurate decision making during games, and coaches when tracking down their players' progress. Thank you.
All right, Grace, we'll start with you. Grace, reflecting on your colleagues' works, which one had the greatest impact on your understanding of the topic you guys identified?
I believe Felipe's had the greatest understanding because his topic was injury prevention and mine was innovations, and many of the innovations that I researched had a lot of benefits on injury prevention.
All right, thank you. Flippy, how did your group decide to include Lewis's perspective in the overall presentation?
So, since Lewis's individual research talked mainly about the performance and technology, the performance that technology improves with the athletes, we decided to include it in the presentation because we felt that it had to do with a lot of, like, it connected with all of our other reports, such as Grace's innovations and Donnie's tracking systems and my injury prevention. Because in Lewis's perspective, he mentions certain technologies that can be applied in all of our individual researches as well.
Okay. Jonathan, sir, what's an example of a compelling argument from one of your peers' reports you decided not to include, and then why?
Yeah, of course. We decided to not use Lewis's. Lewis had a claim that kind of counteracted our report. It was a claim how some of the carbon fiber insoles, which proved to have benefits, were actually uncomfortable in some situations. We decided to not include that.
All right, and saving the best for last. Lewis, if you had a fifth member of your team, what could they have brought to this that would make this a better presentation?
I feel like if we had another team member, we would have talked about the historical side of things. Because yeah, we did have the tracking systems, we did have the innovations, we did have the performance and the injury prevention. But with the fifth member, we could talk about how it evolved over time and how it got better and better and better up to today, from the 19th century over to now.